Hello everyone, welcome back to another video and back with some Eid recipes, which of course are some desserts and pastries you should be trying out this time for your family during Eid because these are really delicious. All the recipes were taken on different days, few being a week back, just that I was waiting to prepare more and club it all. So let's start without much delay. I normally like to prepare everything from scratch and whatever I have in my fridge and pantry rather than shopping more for just the video. And this Phyllo sheets roll were lying in my freezer. It's not a good quality one I had with me. Nothing sponsored, but so far of what I have used, Swiss brand is the best one. But this isn't that one. But don't worry, even if you don't have a good quality one, this recipe will help you make use of it. Preparing crinkled cake with it. Now this and the next along with this are the recipes I found on Insta Reels, and these are very common, just recreating here with my touch. If possible, take out 2 Phyllo sheets at a time and fold it in a zigzag manner or crinkle them. And that's how the name comes. It has to be neat in a not so neat manner. And place each in a baking tray just like this. Now the remaining that was torn and crumbled, place it back and roll. Make sure you cover it as this gets dried up really easily. I'll show you the next recipe along with this as I had made it at the same time. You will need some pistachios for this recipe. Make sure you have preheated the oven at 180 degrees Celsius. Place the crinkled Phyllo sheets for just 10 minutes. While that's baking, doing the rest. Crush the pistachios and keep aside. Now you will need cupcake tin for the next recipe. If you have watched my iftar snacks video, you would know the baklava bites I made. That was inspired from this recipe. Here I am making it to a bigger size, hence the name baklava big bites, or you can name it any you want. Slice the Phyllo sheets into a not so thin and not medium, between that size, and place it in a cupcake tin. Meanwhile, the crinkle sheets are ready to come out after 10 minutes. Now add some melted butter onto it. As I didn't have butter in my fridge at that time, I used ghee. Either one you can use. Pour some ghee all over. Here I added around 6 to 7 spoons. Don't add so much that the ghee overpowers the taste. Place it back in the oven for another 10 minutes. Adding some ghee onto the baklava slices. It will be seeping through, so you will have to add around 3 spoons for each. Place this in the oven and bake for 30 minutes or till they turn golden brown. Meanwhile, making the custard for the crinkled cake, break 2 eggs. In goes half teaspoon salt and whisk. To this add 3/4 to 1 cup milk. Add 1 teaspoon vanilla essence. Now this is what I added extra, lemon zest of 1 lemon. And please do not skip this, it takes this dessert to the next level. Gives a fresh and floral taste to this recipe. Now you may also add orange zest, which is also my favorite, and I wanted to add that in the first place. But here I anyway need lemon juice, so I tried lemon zest and it tastes equally good. Keep that aside. After 10 minutes of baking, pour the egg mixture. Swirl the tray if you need. Now this goes back into the oven, and this time you need to bake it for 30 minutes, again at 180 degrees Celsius. While that's baking, I'm preparing the sugar syrup for both the baklava bites and crinkled cake. So I'm adding 1 cup water to 2 cups sugar. Then squeezing lemon juice of half the lemon that I had used for the zest. Place this on medium flame. Once it boils and sugar dissolves, boil it for 2 more minutes and then turn off the flame. No need of the one string form. Now pour the warm sugar syrup over the hot crinkled cake. Here I poured just half, the rest will go for the baklava. Slice the cake and let the sugar syrup seep through. Sprinkle some pistachios on top. Let this rest for some time, around half an hour. You need to bake the baklava till it's this shade and make sure the middle portion is also cooked and of the same color. Pour the sugar syrup on top. Now these are 2 chocolate bars. Place it in warm water to get it melted. I used white and milk chocolate. Drizzle the chocolate on top. Now sprinkle some crushed pistachios on top of each. And that's the crinkled cake. This is really flavorful and tasty. Do try it. Next is a traditional Arabic breakfast, I guess in Saudi Arabia. It's Mahsoob. I hope it's pronounced right. It's normally eaten as a breakfast, but we normally like to have it as a dessert after having an Arabic meal from a restaurant here. For this, you may use pita bread or any other like chapati or paratha. Pulse it few times in a blender and it should be like a crumble. Do not try to powder it to a fine dust. Use some nuts and raisins. I have used cashews and raisins. You can add almonds, walnuts, or use a mix of all. Melt 2 or 3 tablespoons of butter and roast the nuts and raisins. Keep that aside. Now melt some more butter and fry the crumbled chapati or pita bread, whatever you're using. Fry for 3 or 4 minutes on medium flame. Add the fried nuts and raisins, mix and keep aside. I'm layering it in these 2 small bowls. You can use a bigger tray if you like. Mashed bananas. I added 1 into each and then added 1 more. Then mix in some honey. On top, layer the crumble mix. Now basically you need to mix all and serve, but I'm keeping it in layers. You can make it any way you want. Finally on top, add some cream. You can use whipped cream or fresh cream. Dates halved, that's for a garnish. Now when you have it, mix and have. You need to take in that banana, honey, crumbles and cream all together into your mouth. This is really delicious, a must try. Next one is another dessert. I'll tell what my son Arman said about it. It's milky, sweety and tasty. And it is very delicious. Another must try recipe. This is almost a replica of tres leches cake, or it can also be said as an instant way of making the same. All you need is 1 cup evaporated milk that we use for tea. This is nothing but unsweetened thickened milk. Then add sweetened condensed milk, almost 1 cup, and then goes 1.5 cup fresh milk. Then I added half teaspoon cardamom powder, 1 bay leaf and a small cinnamon stick. Now you don't have to boil it, just make it warm, that's enough. I added few strands of saffron and this is optional. Make sure you're stirring it all time or else high chances for the milk to burn. Now strain and let it cool down a bit. It should be still warm. Now use pound vanilla cake. You can always prepare yourself, but as this is the instant way, I use store-bought one. Slice it thickly and place on a serving tray. I needed few more slices and I had one with chocolate chips on it, so had to use that. If not vanilla cake, you can always go for any other flavors too, like lemon cake or orange cake or any other. We like vanilla more for this. Now pour the warm milk over it, 2 ladle at a time. You can see the milk getting absorbed by the cake. And then again pour 2 ladle more. Continue till there is milk in the tray without getting absorbed. I poured the whole milk and that was perfect. Now make whipping cream. Here I used 1 cup whipping cream and 2 sachets whipping powder. This gives extra creaminess. You can use either one as well. Whip to stiff peaks. I'm using a piping bag as it's easy to spread. Make patterns if you want. You can sprinkle some crushed nuts. Here I used crushed walnuts. Chill and have this. This was super soft, delicate, creamy and amazing. Next are pastries with puff pastry sheets. Had some lying in the freezer, so wanted to try out few. Place few sheets on the baking tray lined with aluminium foil or baking paper. I had experimented a different one but didn't come out the way I wanted, so that's why not focusing there in this video. Now score on each sheet. You don't have to cut fully till the bottom. Do this way for each sheet. Sprinkle some sugar. Bake in a preheated oven at 190 degrees Celsius for 25 minutes or till they turn to a nice golden brown color. Now gently push the center. Use a knife to gently push below if needed. Now let's make the orange custard. Add 1 cup milk to a saucepan. From that 1 cup, take around 3 or 4 spoons of milk into another bowl. Mix 2 tablespoons custard powder and keep aside. Just when the milk reaches the boiling point, pour the custard mix and keep stirring. Reduce the flame to low medium and let it turn thick. I forgot to turn on the camera when I added sugar, so do add half cup sugar or more if you need. Then goes orange zest, and this gives the custard a refreshing taste. Now when this cooled down, mix again and add to a piping bag. Now spread into that square space. Garnish with any berries. I didn't have, so added grapes. Next is cinnamon puff pastry roll. For the filling, mix sugar around 5 or 6 spoons. To that goes in around 1 tablespoon cinnamon powder. You can add some brown sugar if you want. Since I didn't have, I added 2 spoons of powdered jaggery. Keep that aside. If you have big size puff pastry sheet, use that. Here I had only small squares, so joining each by overlapping a bit. Now sprinkle the sugar cinnamon mix. Roll from the longer side, just like how the normal cinnamon roll is rolled. Now slice. Place this in a cupcake tin. Make sure you have spread some butter onto the cupcake tin already. Bake this in a preheated oven at 180 degrees Celsius for 25 to 30 minutes or until they turn light brown color. So that's all for these scrumptious desserts and pastries. Please do try these and let me know your feedback. We'll be really happy to hear from you. Eid Mubarak in advance to everyone. Take care. Bye-bye.